Welcome to the Degenerate Gamblers college basketball week 2. What's going on? Look, things just started. Things are off to a good start. Let's go over real quickly what happened this weekend. College hoops just started. Friday night, we banged out a sweep. We swept. We went 4 for 4. We had North Florida, minus 7.5, 5 units. Bucknell, minus 3.5. 3 units. Air Force minus 1.5, 5 units. We had a 2-game tease with Florida and North Florida, 3 units. We crushed 18 units Friday. Notice how we had North Florida Friday. And then we go to Sunday. Sunday, I think we were 6 for 7. We had Indiana, we had North Florida, Wake Forest, Creighton, LSU live, Gonzaga live. The only game that we lost, we had Gonzaga minus 22 to start. We also banged them live. And we had LSU live. We hit 16 units on Sunday, 18 on Friday. That's a good start. We like small to mid-major college ball. We've been doing this for years on here. I have clients that are on our Discord. By the way, if you like what you hear, hit the like button below. Follow Howie Dewey on YouTube. Hey, $24.99. Join the Discord for 1 month. 1 month. We have some of the best scouts in the country all over the place, getting us good information. North Florida, Friday and Sunday. It was amazing. We're back with them tonight, Tuesday. Yeah, they go to Georgia. I would not want to be Georgia and have to play North Florida this early in the year when they're just kicking it on all 8 cylinders, 10 cylinders, 12 cylinders, if you're a German car or a Jaguar. Anyway, yeah, we had a really good weekend. A lot going on with college basketball. I talked in the last video about how everything's changed. The whole landscape's changed. It drives me nuts when I read a handicapper, or calls himself a handicapper, coming out and saying, the last 8 times these teams have met. Hey, I'm talking so pumped up and excited. The last 8 times these teams have met, Duke has covered 7. You can't look at trends anymore. Trends are out the window in college basketball. I explained on the last episode with NIL and the transfer portal what has happened. You take a look at tonight's matchup between Kentucky and Duke. How many guys were there last year? At Kentucky, nobody. At Duke, they're all new. Cooper Flagg, these kids are brand new. So, it's tough to tell. You have to look more at like coaching matchups, what these coaches do. Duke plays great defense. Duke has no problem slowing the ball down and working for a good shot. Mark Pope played at Kentucky, back there now. I think he's got Kentucky going in the right direction. I mean, they look pretty good second half, first game out. I'm looking forward to this game. I don't have a huge lean on Kentucky, Duke. I'll tell you right now. I'd rather bet the North Florida Georgia game. I like betting games that make me money versus large market teams. I just would. Who else do we have? We have, I think, Kentucky. We beat Bucknell by 28 first game. Who did we have? We had Bucknell. We had Bucknell plus 28.5. They covered by the hook. But that's just me. I don't care about large market teams in college basketball. 2 teams that have covered every single time we've bet them, we're only in week 2, are North Alabama and North Florida. Yeah, the Sun Belt Conference is back. The Sun Belt Conference is back, and it's just kicking. Take a look at North Florida. Take a look at North Alabama. Jacksonville's a team you got to look at. Florida Gulf Coast. Some of these teams are brand new. They have talent, and there's going to be nights where there's value in these teams. I don't even know if I said that right, but anyway, let's take a look at what we have this week because they're not messing around with college basketball this year. There's a lot of good matchups early. Not just Kentucky Duke, but there's a lot of rivalry games which they are kicking off fairly early. And I just screwed up. I said Sun Belt. I knew it in my head because I was just looking at college football, Georgia Southern, and the guys, the Atlantic Sun, the Atlantic Sun. is one of my favorite conferences for basketball, always has been. Yeah, this team, Eastern Kentucky, North Florida, Lipscomb, Jacksonville, Bellarine. I don't know if I said that right. Ballarini. I don't know. Kentucky school, solid. Florida Gulf Coast. But yeah, the Atlantic Sun. I caught myself. I knew I was off a little bit there. Guys, I've spent the last 8 hours just going through college football games, college basketball games. I've been on the phone with friends of mine across the country talking about different teams. North Florida, North Alabama, both solid teams. We've nailed them every game this year because we had information that these kids were solid. They could play. But anyways, yeah, tonight North Florida going into Georgia. Um, I don't know. We have to wait and see what that line is. And that's a game I probably will play. Let's look at Wednesday. Wednesday is loaded too. Wednesday, if you haven't seen St. John's yet, Wednesday's your chance. They play Wagner. Wagner was a team that came right out of the bat, and they actually played very tough in their opening game. At least in the first half. Who they play? I think they played Rutgers, who, by the way, I'm going to give a little information on Rutgers later. Some really good information on Rutgers. Yeah, they did. Wagner played Rutgers tough the first half, and then Rutgers came out second half because I don't know, they probably have three of the best freshmen in the country. I'll say that again, three of the best freshmen in the country, and these aren't boys, these are men. These are just solid guys that can play. Dylan Harper is a beast, an absolute beast. People talk about Cooper Flag from I gotta watch how I said that. Cooper Flag from Duke. Yeah, you say Duke, and you gotta be careful with that last name. I'm just kidding. I'm just not a Duke fan. Um, but yeah, Flag's a great player. But this kid Harper, he's right there, man. He's right there. The kid can ball. Couple other games we have tomorrow night. We have Harvard Northeastern. You're rolling your eyes like Harvard Northeastern. Harvard's down this year. Northeastern's not bad. That's a game I'm going to play. I'm going to play that game. Why? Because I think there's some money to be made in that game. I'll give you another one. You have Troy State Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, playing at Arkansas. Arkansas's got great players. Did you see how pissed off Calipari was after that first game? Oh my God. I mean, it's good to see that. He was pissed. Arkansas's got good players, great point guard, but it's going to take them a while to gel. They're all new. I mean, some of these teams, it's going to take a long time before they start clicking. Arkansas is one of them. Troy State has a squad this year. Yes, they do. Troy State is solid. I'm looking forward to that game. I think you might get some value on that line. Arkansas, don't be surprised if they're laying quite a few points in that game. Here's another one. North Texas in hoops going to Minnesota Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. I see value in that game. I do. North Texas plays defense. They have some good players. That's a team we've done very well with the last few years. Let's look at Thursday night. Thursday, games start at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You're going to see more of this headed towards Thanksgiving and all these tournaments coming up. I'll be working overtime. I don't sleep, guys. I just don't sleep this time of year between college football, college basketball. There's just money to be made here. You got Utah Valley playing North Dakota at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Thursday. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Between the stock market and this, I'll be going back and forth. Utah Valley at North Dakota and South Dakota State. You've seen what they've done the past 10 years, especially in the tournament. They've put out just good players. They play fundamental ball. They play the big guys close in the tournament. Utah Valley goes in there. We'll see what happens. I don't have a lead on that game. I'm not going to bullshit you, but it's at 1 o'clock. Got to watch it. That night, we have Grand Canyon playing Arizona State. Grand Canyon playing. Arizona State was getting hammered, thumped by Gonzaga on Sunday. And what happened? They came back. Bobby Hurley finally has some players. Bobby Hurley's got some players. Bobby Hurley's got a guard, a freshman guard. This kid, Jason Sandin, out of Fall River, Massachusetts. You ever hear of that? You ever hear of a little guard by the name of Chris Herron? He was a beast. Yeah, cleaned up himself and just a success story right there. This kid's from Fall River, Mass. He can play. He can play out of Vermont Academy in Vermont. Uh, Arizona State's got players, man. Bobby Hurley finally should have a decent year. I think he will. And then at 9 o'clock, you got LSU at Kansas State. Decent night. Friday's insane. Friday's nuts. I'm looking at these games on Friday. You got Virginia versus Villanova. You got TCU at Michigan. Michigan. That's root beer. Root beer. I'm not hitting the heavy stuff yet. Michigan has a center by the name of Vlad Golden. Vlad Golden, remember that? Florida Atlantic, Final Four. I saw him play at the Garden. This kid can play, but even though he can play, we took Wake Forest over them yesterday at Wake Forest because of the more mature guard play. And they did. They covered. Wake Forest covered. But Michigan's a team you got to watch this year. They have some solid big guys. These guys rebound. Vlad Golden can play. Then you got Alabama playing tomorrow. I think Alabama's going to Purdue. Can't look at my hand. I think they play at Purdue tomorrow night. That'll be interesting. Then you have Penn State, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech. There's a rivalry. Georgia Tech, decent team. Georgia, we'll see how they do against North Florida tonight. West Virginia, Pitt, rivalry. Marquette, Maryland. Arizona, Wisconsin. Are you kidding me? Thank God all these games are Friday night. Let's talk about one quick thing. It's on my mind. I got to say it before I forget. The one thing you have to do with college basketball is hedge. You're going to get a chance to hedge live bets, especially live bets, when you bet an underdog. Okay? If your underdog is up at the half, you have to turn around and bet the favorite and hedge. I'll give you an example. Saturday night, I liked Houston, not just because Bruce Pearl lost total control of his team at 30,000 feet in the air and they started smacking the shit out of each other and they had to land the plane. That's Bruce Pearl. I mean, dude, get a hold of your team. Your team can't be fighting on an airplane, Bruce. Anyway, I like Houston. Houston was -4.5. Houston was up 9 going into the half. You could have grabbed, and we did, you could have grabbed Auburn at +700. We did. We hedged. We took Auburn +700. We also took them, I think they're +10, both. Auburn came back the second half and won. Thank God we hedged. So I had a fairly large bet on Houston. But I had that +700 hedge, which saved me. You have to do this, people. And if you join the Discord, hit the like button below. Follow Howie Dewey on YouTube. Join the Discord. $24.99 a month. We teach you how to do this stuff, but you have to hedge. All right, you have to. So we go into next Saturday, which is big college football day. Not as many games that day, but there's games on Sunday. Guys, we'll be doing this every week. We'll be talking about coaching matchups. We'll be talking about injuries, who's hurt, who isn't. In basketball, it makes a huge difference. I don't care who you are. In basketball, there's only 10, 12 guys on a team. Not that much depth. Some teams have more depth than others. Sometimes the depth hurts you, but you're subbing guys in too many times. Some teams that play 5, 6, 7 guys end up winning national championships. Speaking of that, you listen this far, I'm giving you a future bet right now at +1,500. Don't mess around. Just look, I've picked UConn to win the national championship the last 2 years in a row. I'll put a little bit on them this year because they're the team to knock off. And they're good. They're loaded again. But you better put a little bit of coin on Rutgers to make the Final Four in 2024, 2025. Put some cash on Rutgers. They're +1,500 to make the Final Four. This is not a normal Rutgers team I've seen over the past 10, 15, 20 years. Steve Peichel is a defensive guy. He likes to slow the ball down, get good shots, screen. Not anymore. He's letting these kids go. Dylan Harper's coming down, pulling up, just shooting threes. Peichel doesn't care if he makes it or misses. That's because this kid is a beast. They have a couple other kids on the team that can play, they can rebound, they can pass, they're strong. This team is going to be tough to beat in the Big Ten. I would sprinkle a little money on them going to the Final Four at plus 1,500. I just gave out that future bet. So with that, you should hit the like button. Follow Howie Dewey on YouTube. It's going to be a great season. There's so much activity when it comes to college basketball. There's so much going on. So many wheels are turning. I get so much information coming in every day. I try to literally siphon and go down all these games and pick the top 3 to 5 for my clients. Most of these guys I've had for years and years and years. We look for value. Okay. We're taking underdogs at least half the time. Some games you would be like, you are crazy. Yeah. Remember Yale knocked off Auburn last year in the tournament? We had the money line on that one. Yes, we did. Right off the bat, first week this year, we had Vermont at plus 260. Yes, we did. And I see a lot more of these coming. So look, we're having fun. This is a blast. I'm glad you listened. If you like what you heard, hit the like button. Follow Howie Dewey on YouTube. It's going to be an awesome year. Thanks for listening.